Hola, mami. We are live today and we're going to talk with the author of Chica, Why Not? How to Live with Intention and Manifest a Life That Loves You Back. Super excited. So I'm going to go ahead and go on Instagram Live. So we'll see you there. And we're going live and now. All right. Let's do this. Let's put the volume all the way up. We're going to go live. Nope, that story. Don't you love seeing me set this up? Okay. And all right, let's set this chair down here. And here we go. Hola, mami. Happy Friday, TGIF. Yes, I was so happy. Today is Friday, and I am so excited for today's live. Thank you for joining us. We have a special guest today. I am so excited. We are going to learn how to live with intention and manifest a life that loves you back. I am very excited for this topic. Very, very happy to start the weekend too. And super, super excited because I actually have our guest's book, and it's right here. And her name is Sandra Hinojosa Ludwig, and we're gonna invite her to go join us live. She's the author of Chica, Why Not? How to Live with Intention and Manifest a Life That Loves You Back. And that is today's topic. So we're going to talk a little bit about her book, her journey, and we're going to learn about manifestation and all that good stuff. Ooh, there we go. She's on. And I have accepted the request for her to join. So for those of you that just joined us, hola mami. Today we have a special guest. Her name is Sandra Hinojosa Ludwig, and she is the author of Chica, Why Not? How to Live with Intention and Manifest a Life That Loves You Back. And today we're going to talk about that, a little bit about her journey and her book. And also she's going to teach us the basics of manifestation. I went ahead and sent her a live request so that she can join us. And there she is. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Thank you. Welcome.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So excited to have you. I was very excited when I heard that your book, Chica, Why Not, was coming out. I was like, finally, a book that is relatable. Yes, I love the color.
Me too.
It's so cool. I really loved reading about your journey and then like how like you connected the dots for us. Super easy to read. Very like I really liked it. Congratulations. I
Oh,
know
thank
you're
you.
uh, a top selling author, and I'm so excited to have you here. So tell us a little bit about you. I've read about you and everything, and I'm a follower, and I've taken one of your sessions. I'm so excited to have you. So Sandra, please share with us your journey. Like, how did you
Yeah,
get here?
yeah. Well, I was born in Mexico City. I was raised in Monterrey, Mexico. I didn't leave Monterrey, Mexico until after university, and it was one of those things where I was told my whole life, you go to school, you finish university, you get a job, and then you're gonna be happy. So you do all of that, and I'm not happy. And then I'm like, well, maybe if I study my master's. So I moved to the United States and I studied my master's and still wasn't happy. And I'm like, well, maybe if I get a really good job. I got a really good job and I still wasn't happy. Long story short, I I've lived in 5 countries around the world, something like 13 cities, and I just wasn't happy. And I kept asking myself, there gotta be a better way because I'm looking around and people look happier than I look. I felt very stuck in my career, very stuck in with money, very stuck in love. Like I couldn't, no relationship would last more than 4 months. And I'm like, what is happening? And it was one of those things that I'm a true believer that when you put the question out there, the universe wants nothing more than to give you an answer. And that's exactly what happened. Like within, there was a moment when I realized I was sadder than just sad. Like I was crying all the time. And
So were you depressed, do you think? Or
I don't know, because I was quite functional. Like I was going to work and, I was getting things done. It was just when I was by myself.
mm-hmm.
When the thoughts stopped racing and when I didn't have to like be anywhere or do anything, that I was like, this is not what I want. I'm not happy. Long story short, I just found out Bob Proctor died, and that made me a little bit sad. But
I'm sorry?
Bob Proctor died. He's one of the big teachers of the law of attraction. He passed away today.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I didn't hear the news.
Sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just came out. That was kind of sad. But I watched The Secret, and I'm like, oh my God, this is a thing. You can create your own reality.
Yeah.
So within, I fell in love with Abraham Hicks, which was one of the teachers there, and he was going to be in my city a couple of weeks after that. I went and saw them and never looked back. That was 16 years ago, and I'm still fascinated at what I learned and how I can apply it into my life to really live the life that I wanted.
So after you went through all of this and you like came through that realization, what exactly made you jump that step or that barrier to become a life coach? Because you first did it for yourself, for self-healing and to find happiness, but then what clicked and that you said, I want to be a life coach?
It took years because, at the beginning I was like, I want the house, I want the husband, I want the career. And I got it all, right? Like I found the law of attraction in 2006.
Wow.
And it wasn't until probably 2008, 2009 that I started getting the little bit of a nudge. Like I love my job and I'm really happy now. I have everything I wanted. But I feel like I'm meant to do something else. But, I didn't know what that was. So, of course, this is what I do. I'm like, well, maybe if I get another job. I got another job. I moved to England, came back to Canada. Until finally 2014, I said, you know what? I'm going to listen to this nudge. It's been here for now a while. I moved around. I did other jobs. It's been here a while. And I didn't know what I was supposed to do. So I just knew it had to do more with maybe spirituality or something along those lines. So I studied Reiki and I loved it. But I'm like, no, this is not it. I felt like, that kid's story where you try the different bands and it's like, this is too hard. This is too soft.
I love that.
I was like trying everything. I was trying Reiki and I liked it. But I'm like, yeah, this is not it. And then I did tarot card reading, and I'm like, yeah, I like it, but this is not it. And then I finally did coaching, and I was like,
this is it.
This is it. And so that was 2015. I finished coaching. I started coaching in the corporate world because that's what I was at the time. I had a long career working in innovation and product development. And then in 2016, I finally left the corporate world. I started working in public service, and that's when I started coaching. Other people besides people that reported to me or my friends. And then one day I was talking to a friend and I'm like, it always seems that people get stuck in three places. Mm-hmm. They either don't know what they want, or they know what they want, but they don't know how to get it, or they know what they want, they know how to get it, but they can't get themselves to do it. And she's like, well, you should write a book then about that. And I was like, And that was the beginning of it. And, Hay has had a writer's workshop where I lived. And then I went to the workshop and sent them my proposal and they accepted it. And the rest is history.
Wow, that's amazing. Like you are one of very, very few people that, you have an idea for a book or you just you go with emotions. Like I feel like you have to have a level of self-awareness to be able to follow through because you've done so much and you've traveled, moved countries and lived there and actually experienced being a resident, right, in all these different cities and all these different careers, and you've been very successful in all of them. But you've always kind of had that like nudge, like, okay, I'm going to try something else. But a lot of us, maybe we have that and then we just ignore it, right? So how do you get to that point where you're like, you have that self-awareness that like, you have to do something because there's more, like.
Well, I did ignore it. The beginning of the nudge started like around 2008, 2009. And I was like, I'm just going to move to another place, right? So, but that's the thing that I tell people. Your dreams never go away. You might be like, I'm just not going to pay attention to them. They seem too big. I feel too small. I'm just going to like keep hiding it. They keep hiding. They don't go away. They keep nagging you and nagging you and nagging you and asking you to pay attention to them. And it took me until 2015. And to become a coach. But the thing was that when I quit my job in the corporate world,
Mm-hmm.
I actually had the job that
your dream job.
I had been dreaming about since I started my career. I was leading innovation for a large food manufacturer. I was on the top of my career.
Wow.
And that's when I knew, like, this is the dream I've been dreaming about my whole life. And even now I feel like I should be doing something else. So, it does take self-awareness, but also I think dreams don't let you go. Dreams don't ever let you go. They are always saying, listen to me. And I think too, give ourselves permission to dream. I think that's the big reason why many times we don't listen to our dreams. It's because we don't give ourselves permission to.
Because we don't believe that it's possible. We always have obstacles, excuses, and other people.
Yeah, or we worry, what if, my parents don't like what I do? Or what if I cannot make money out of this? Or
That's the big one.
Yeah. Or what if, I leave everything and I end up with nothing, right? Like, but the thing is, obviously I teach the law of attraction. I think you can have it all. I think you can have the abundance. I think you can have the beautiful career. I think you can do it all. I really think so.
So can you define for us then, like what is manifestation exactly for somebody that doesn't know anything about it?
Yeah, so the law of attraction is a universal law, just like gravity, right? It's always working, whether you want it or not, just like gravity. You don't ever wake up in the morning and wonder, am I going to float today? You're going to hit the ground, right?
Right.
So it's the same. The law of attraction is working. Even now, having this conversation, we are all at a specific vibration right now that is either allowing well-being or it's not. And manifesting is the process of bringing something that started as a thought into reality by allowing it into our experience. So we're always manifesting. What I teach is intentionally manifesting. And what that means is, you know what you want, you know where you want to go, and you intentionally use the law of attraction to make it happen for you.
So that's
just like planes will use the law of gravity to land.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's how you would live with intention. That's what you mean by how to live with intention?
I love that word, intention, because it really means being very clear about what you want and then be unapologetic about it and then go for it. Like, take every step that you need and collaborate with the universe so they can help you create it.
That's amazing. So what do you think are the major like setbacks that somebody would have starting off with trying to manifest and live with intention?
Yeah, so it's the three that I mentioned earlier.
Okay.
Which is, I don't know what I want. I actually believe the more I coach people, the more I believe that we always know what we want. It's just sometimes we don't give ourselves permission. So the more I do this, I actually believe that learning how to intentionally manifest is unlearning everything we've learned about ourselves and what is possible for us. When we are born, we actually know that we deserve, that we're worthy, that we can make it happen for us. But then now you start, okay, what do I really want? It takes courage. It takes being very honest, but then finally know. Once you know, now the next step is like, okay, I know what I want. I don't know how to get it. And that's where we learn how to collaborate with the universe. So how to match our energy to the energy of the desire so we can allow it in, so we can let it in. And then also to inspire action, to take inspired action.
Inspired action. Okay, so if how can somebody take inspired action? Like, can you give us an example?
Yeah, so listen for this, look for the signs, listen to the intuition. Once you become very clear what you want, the universe wants nothing more than to give it to you. And the universe is going to send you signs.
So is that why? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry. And I was going to say, maybe that's something that you never even thought about. And then it shows. When I left the corporate world, actually, my first thought was like, I'm just going to look for another job that doesn't ask me to move. They were asking me to move back to the US. I was in Canada at the time. And I had just moved back from England 2 years before. And I'm like, no, I'm not uprooting my family again and moving to the United States. Let me see if I can find something in Canada that doesn't ask me to move, right? Mm-hmm. And I was talking to a friend. So I thought, I'm just going to look for another job, like the one I do, product development, right? Mm-hmm. And he was talking with a friend that told me, she was trying to tell me about her company. And she's like, my company is the second largest employer in Canada. And I'm like, so who's the first? And she's like, the government. And I'm like, I never thought about working for the government. And that's inspiration.
Oh.
You're clear on what you want. I knew I didn't want to move again. Mm-hmm. I knew I didn't want to travel. By the time I quit the corporate world, I realized that I had traveled in average 1 week a month for the last 13 years.
Wow, that's a lot of travel, a lot of frequent flyer miles.
That too. But I was like, I don't want to travel anymore. My little guy was he was 4 at the time. Aww. I was like, I want to be able to go to his place and pick him up at school and those sorts of things. And so I was very clear on what I wanted. I just didn't know how I was going to get it. And that's what I mean by inspire action. Things are going to show up. A friend might make a comment. Someone you didn't know will also contact you in LinkedIn. Or maybe someone says, hey, did you hear about this new company that's opening? And all of a sudden, something you never thought about, you're like, that sounds just like what I want. That is.
And then actually do it.
And taking action.
Take the action. I think that's that leap is so difficult sometimes because you're stuck in like, oh, what if not? Or, or you're comfortable, or it's just, it takes a little leap of faith. So question then, can you also manifest things that you don't necessarily want? Like, because you're saying the energies, and if you're thinking about it, well, a lot of us, start thinking about, oh my gosh, like all the negative things that are happening, and then more negative things happen, and kind of like, you know what I'm saying?
I know, and it's scary, right? Because sometimes we believe, if I think negative thoughts, then I'm going to manifest negative things. Here's what I believe. I believe that there is no stream of bad things. There's only a stream of well-being. And just like darkness is the absence of light, when we see things that we don't desire in our experience, that's just a symptom that we have not allowed well-being into our experience. And it doesn't happen overnight. If you one day decide that, even if you decided to never allow good feelings, never allow your vibration to rise, even if you did that, it takes time. Just like if you stop drinking water right now, you will feel fine. Maybe for 3, maybe 4 days, but then you're going to start feeling really tired. Your skin is going to start getting flaky. It's going to start showing signs. And hopefully, if you don't let it go too far, you just drink water and you're back to where you were, right?
Right.
It's the same thing. If we don't allow well-being in chronically, continuously, then we're going to see signs of it, just like we see signs when we don't drink water, right? But then if you have a thought that you're like, oh my God, I just had a bad thought, I'm going to manifest something. It doesn't happen like that. It's not going to be immediate. It's just just the same way that if you don't drink your water at 9 in the morning, that if you don't drink water the whole morning, you're gonna be like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. It doesn't happen like that.
Got it. Thanks for clarifying. So can you so you gave us the 3 things that people get stuck on when in terms of manifesting. Can you give us the 3 things that we can do like right now to begin getting on track?
Yeah, and I think so there are 3 things that I would say. So the very important one is become clear on what you want. That's part of intention living. Because if you try and manifest without being clear, it's no different than going to a restaurant and saying, give me food. They're going to give you food, but it's what you're craving, it's what you're hoping for. So become clear on what you want, and then take a step back. So know what you want. Let's say, I want a bigger house. Take a step back and ask yourself, how am I going to feel when I have it? Why do I want this? That's the magic sauce, I think. Because when you take a step back, you can say, well, I want a bigger house because I want everyone to have their own space. I want everyone to feel like they have this safe space. I want to entertain. I want my whole family to come over and have a fiesta. You know, and here's what I'm going to feel. I'm going to feel like I'm protected. I'm going to feel safe. I'm going to feel like I have my own space. And that's what you visualize. The why, not the what. Don't visualize a house. Don't visualize where the house is going to be. Maybe you know a neighborhood. Why you like that neighborhood? Because it feels safe, because it has beautiful trees, because it has a beautiful view, because it's convenient. That's what you visualize. That's what you think about. That's what you talk about. Because when you focus on the why, you're giving permission to the universe, number one, to surprise you and maybe even bring you something better you never thought about. But also you remove resistance. Because when you're focusing on the how and the when and the who and where am I going to get the money? How am I going to find the house? There are no houses where I want them. When you do all of that, you start introducing resistance.
Yes.
To allow your desire in, you focus on matching the vibration of the desire. You want that because you're going to feel happier when you have it. So how can you bring yourself to a place where you can create some of those feelings right now in the absence of the house? And that's how you know you're bringing it into your experience.
I really like one example actually from your book, and you talk about that a little bit, how when you were manifesting the house of your dreams, you went to that street and you were there and you felt and like you lived it, how it would feel to live there, and then you eventually got a better house. So that was pretty awesome.
It was funny. I love that neighborhood, and I actually lived in that street.
That's amazing.
I was renting though. I was renting, and it was like a couple of blocks south of where I ended up buying my house. And I remember telling my husband back then, when he was my boyfriend, I said, I don't think we can afford in this neighborhood. Like, we love the neighborhood. I'm like, I don't think we can afford it. But I opened myself, right? I remember I wrote a piece of paper with everything that I wanted in the house. And I just put myself to look for a house. Even the real estate agent appeared out of the nothing, because she was a mom of my cat sitter, and she saw that I was looking at houses, a magazine of houses, and she left a card saying, hey, call me if you want to buy a house. So she ended up being I really just had to show up.
That was a great anecdote. I really like that, how you said the universe just worked to make it happen because you were like already manifesting it. That was great.
I really think the universe wants nothing more than for you to have what you want.
Yes, thank you. Let's see. Thank you so much for sharing like all the tidbits, and also, of course, we can get more details in the book. I really liked it. It's also kind of like a workbook. You can really start planning, and I really like all of it. And you're also offering, aside from your life coaching, you're offering courses, right? Kind of like
yes.
Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we have a class that's actually ongoing right now. I'm going to be launching another one in the fall. But if anyone wants to get started, even before the class launch, they can go to my website. I have a free guide that follows you get a free guide and you get a 30-minute class that gives you a really good explanation of the law of attraction. And then you're in my mailing list. So next time I launch the class, I'll let you guys know.
Yeah.
And every now and then I'll do free classes too because I love teaching.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. And you're great at it. So we're going to go. Thank you. We're going to go ahead and share all the information in case anybody's interested. And of course, obviously, we can share. We're sharing your Instagram, but also links to where they can get the book. I feel like I'm a spokesperson for your book. Of course, I really loved it. And then also where they can sign up for one of your classes. And thank you so much. You're also on TikTok with the same handle, right? On Instagram. I follow you there. I love your content. You give little tidbits that are very helpful. And thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate your time.
I love this conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye. Bye.